Hello and welcome to part 12 of my November 2013 update. I'm back again with another 8 titles, and I'll start with the first one here. This is Nosferatu. I did show the DVD version of this. I think it was either in part 10 or 11. So I'm not going into too much detail on this one, just a couple of things I'll go through. This is number 70. Doesn't seem to want to focus there. There, yeah. And this is the new digital restoration of this one. It does mention that on the front of the DVD, but doesn't on the Blu-ray, purely because it recently had a DVD release, and the DVD new version has got the same artwork and is the same number as the original DVD, so I put that on there to distinguish between the two versions. But this has got the same artwork on the Blu-ray and the same artwork as it originally had, and there's a booklet in there and the special features again, like I mentioned for the DVD. Not sure how much different the booklet is, or I haven't checked into what the special features on the original release were and whether they've been carried over. There's a new feature on here anyway, but this is a new restoration, so the picture quality will be a lot better than the original. I did watch that last year, so I'll probably watch it again, this newer version, sometime next year. That's Nosferatu, and it's a nice release from the Massive Cinema label. Next up is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. This is one of the more recent releases I bought from MG&M, and I picked this up. I've got the DVD and I'll get the Blu-ray of it. It's only £2.70, and again I think this is like the other one's South African release. It's got the same features as the DVD. There's nothing actually new on this one. Nowhere near as good as the first film, and the first film wasn't particularly brilliant, but it's not anywhere near as good, but I still enjoyed it. I mean, when I originally watched this, I was off work for a week because I had swine flu, so you can tell how long ago that was, and I was on Amazon. I think I just bought a load of cheap horror films, so I bought these ones, and I bought Final Destination, I think about 50-60p each plus postage, so I had quite a few of those come through and had a week watching all those. I do enjoy the Final Destination films, so these are slightly different type of horror film. I did also get the third one, I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, and that hasn't got a Blu-ray release. It wasn't actually that brilliant either, and I don't know if it's me, my TV, or the DVD, but it seemed to be a very small window box picture with a lot of black border around, so it was awkward to see. It wasn't that big an image at the end, but there's that one. So I do, if I see them quite cheap, some of these horror films, I will pick them up. Next up is the first of a new strand of releases from Network, and these are DVD releases in these thin cases, and this is British musicals of the 1930s. I've shown you their various releases from the Ealing Studios Relatives collection. I think I might have another one to show for that, but these are the new set of films they're releasing. It's got Harmony Heaven, Music Hath Charms, Oh She Goes, and The Song You Gave Me. I mean, don't expect anything like the Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals or Vincent Minnelli ones, but they are what they are. Probably a lot of music hall sort of films, but it's nice to have a different sort of set of films released that you wouldn't normally get to see. And like I mentioned with the Ealing Studios ones, not necessarily all brilliant films, but normally one or two are quite good, and they're worth watching anyway. They're not particularly long, sort of 57 minutes, so you can watch a couple of those in a night. You can probably watch all 4 in a night, really, because it's probably no longer than watching a 4-hour film. But yeah, these are, hopefully there'll be a few more of these coming out. They're not announced anymore, as far as I've seen. And I don't know, there may be some other strands as well of releases. I don't know if there's a British musical of the 1940s or something. But I'll say these are all 2 discs, so 2 films per disc. Next up is another Shameless release, and I did show one previously, which was Nurse. It's nice that they're releasing films again, although I'd say this and Nurse are the only ones they've announced or have only come out. Not seen any more. This is Viva. And now I've really enjoyed this film. A lot of people probably think this is probably rubbish, but I did really like it. I think when I was watching it initially, I thought the acting was a bit rubbish, but as you watch it, you sort of find the charm in it. And I think basically he's sort of playing on the 70s sort of exploitation films and those sort of sex films in a way. That is the style that I aim for. And Annabella is, as you can see, she is the actress on the front cover. She also directed, produced, wrote, edited, and was a production costume designer, so she did a lot of the sets and costumes. And I did have a look at some of the extra features on there, and she does have a good knowledge of film, so she's sort of got influences and from other films, and she has good sort of knowledge of history of film. So, but yeah, I mean, she's made some other films, I think, but nothing I've seen. But this has got a slipcase, and unlike Nurse, which I couldn't show inside, this one's just got, I mean, it's fair, there's nothing too racy about that. It's all no really bare flesh on there, but that's the inside cover. But yeah, so I did really enjoy that film. I'm hoping Shameless do put some more things out. I mean, the last 2 releases haven't been horror. They have mainly focused on horror, but also keep an eye on those. Next up is a BFI DVD release, and this is Supernatural, the classic horror series. And there are how many films? 8 films on this. And I think, unlike the other one I showed you, I think I showed one of these similar releases in another video. This is, I believe, all the episodes. And it's got Jeremy Clyde there, as you can see. He was in Shark on the Paint, which I showed you. And John Justin. So there's a bit of a link to that. And that's the one I want to actually see, the stone tape. It was released, BFI released it quite a while back. It's gone out of print, but I think 101 Films have released it now, so I'll probably pick that up soon. But yeah, these are quite good. These are released around Halloween time, so sort of fitting to the horror film, horror sort of period of the year. You know, Halloween, all the sort of people watch a lot of ghost films and things like that. But yeah, so I haven't got around to watching this yet, unfortunately. I do plan on watching this, but probably won't be for a little while. It's 400 minutes, so I may have to watch this over a weekend. But yeah, it's a nice release, and it's got a nice booklet as usual with the BFI releases. Next up, this is the Sainsbury's special edition release of The Wolverine, and it's got a bonus DVD, Legacy X, Wolverine and X-Men, and it's basically the same as a normal one disc release, but it's got the bonus thing in there. There's some special features there, and there's some more there. Now, like I mentioned with this Steelbook, there are two versions of the film. There's the, I think there's the theatrical and the extended version. I think this is just the theatrical version. I'm not too sure, because I haven't got the one by me to compare, but anyone who's a fan of X-Men will like this film. Don't think this is available in store still. I think it might still be available online. But Sainsbury's will be going on demand only for their website, so things like this you won't be able to buy online. So whether they'd stop doing these exclusive, I don't know, but what will happen is that if they do, then I'll have to go into store to find them. But he's got a nice case with it, so I mean, they don't tend to do a lot of exclusives anyway, but I do like it when they do, because especially the Monsters Inc. got the bonus disc on Blu-ray, which wasn't available in the normal release. And there's some, as well, you see a nice little glossiness on the subcase, and there's a bit of embossing on the text. Next up is another Dogwolf release. I showed you Blackfish in the previous video, and this is The Act of Killing, and this is by Joshua Oppenheimer. This is quite a long film. I mean, the normal version's 1 hour 55 minutes, but the director's cut is 2 hours 40, and there's 4 hours of special features. But I think some of that will be the commentary, because I think a lot of the releases now, a lot of releases have always included the commentary in the running time. Don't know which version the commentary's on, probably just theatrical version. I don't know, there's one on the Doctor's cut as well, but there's some other stuff on there, deleted scenes, interview. I don't know what the running time of the features are, because I haven't checked the disc out yet. But there's the synopsis. I did see a little clip of this while it was on Sky Atlantic. I think Sky Atlantic did a week, or watched a little bit of it, so didn't want to watch too much because I knew I had it pre-ordered, and I'd rather watch it properly in full. But yeah, and the final one, and this is Hamlet. Now, for some reason I never actually thought about picking this up. It's got a few ITV releases, and for some reason I never even looked into this, but I'm trying to see all the Academy Award winning films. I've seen quite a few of them, but there's quite a few I haven't seen, and I've never actually owned this film, and where I can, of those ones which I don't have on Blu-ray, I've been trying to find on Blu-ray, and I saw this was out. I know there's a lot of ITV DVD, ITV Blu-ray releases which I've not really bothered with, because I know the picture quality isn't particularly brilliant. One being 39 Steps, although I do really want to get it, but the UK Blu-ray isn't particularly brilliant. This is mono sound, but that's fine because it's from 1948, so can't expect much more than that. And it's a HD picture, obviously. Not particularly a huge amount of special features, but these tend to. But yeah, it's one of the ones I wanted to get. So a few Oscar-winning films I want to get, but not all have been released on Blu-ray yet, so we'll be getting those at some point in the future. But yeah, that's the titles in this video. Definitely be back for part 13, and then probably part 14, but I haven't decided yet. So as usual, please rate, comment and subscribe, and until my next video, thanks for watching.